Okay, you guys, what is up? This is Sinbad here today to review Magi, the Labyrinth of Magic, chapter 220. Now, yeah, this is my first ever Magi chapter review. I found out now that it comes out on Monday instead of Tuesday. I thought it was Tuesday, but anyways, so yeah, so let's get started with this chapter. Now, this is basically the origin of King Solomon. And I have to say, I was kind of surprised to see how things worked out. Because I didn't think Solomon was actually going to be this young. I thought he was going to be in his 20s, like before he became a king. But no, he actually gathered up all these people when he was like a little kid. And I'm assuming he's around I would say like 12, 13, maybe 14. Because I don't think he's like 10 years old or something like that. There's no way. Like, I've seen this dude. He's pretty buff for a small little kid. So, yeah, he has to be at least 12 years old. But this chapter was actually very informative because it basically explains how Alma Torran was derived from. Because I'm gonna like just jump around because I don't really feel like giving the full summary of this. Basically, when it comes to Alma Torran, the way Suleiman actually did this reminds me of two people, Aladdin and Sinbad. And I'll get to that in a second. But when it comes to the way Suleiman created Alma Torran in the first place, he didn't just create it full of humans, he created it full of other creatures from other tribes. And it's also explained that a lot of the jinn that he founded were actually not human originally. They were actually from other tribes, like Aman Alibaba's jinn. The Alibaba's jinn. He's actually from the Hermit tribe. Um, Agares, I think that's how you pronounce it. Agares. He's from the Manticore tribe, and so on and so forth. And basically, when Suleiman was talking to the other tribes, he's talking about how, despite the fact that you guys aren't the same as I am, despite the fact that you guys aren't human like I am, you still have one thing in common with us: love. Despite the fact that you could be evil as hell, you will still have some kind of compassion inside of you, some kind. I'm not. Is it true? I'm not too sure because I'm sitting there. I'm like, it's weird because I understand where he's coming from. He makes a lot of sense, but does that necessarily mean that every person has that? Like every person has some kind of compassion? Because when you think about it, some of the evil motherfuckers, do they have compassion? We don't know, but it does make a lot of sense. And basically, what we find out is that based off of Ugo's theories, they were able to make divine staffs for the other animals. But according to Solomon, it's not that easy because apparently they can only do one type of magic. It's not the divine staffs, staves, or whatever you want to call it, the divine staffs that Solomon and his friends have. It's basically a divine staff with only one type of magic in it, despite it being actually really powerful. And so basically, that's Solomon's gift to the other tribes. Is like, yo, why don't you take this and become an ally of me? And that's the whole reason why he wants to build like Alma Torran in the first place, build Utopia basically. So that I thought was pretty damn cool. And of course, we see Sheba. She is starting to like Solomon, like she's starting to like grow like feelings for him as it continues. And we even see at the end of the chapter, I think that's when they're a little bit older. She wears some type of crown, so it's possible that at that point they might have fallen in love or they might have gotten married. We don't know for sure. But when it comes to their fight with the Orthodox magicians, we see how, if you remember from the whole full of gin equip idea or concept, is that they have the whole third eye up at the top, and it's different from pretty much any gin equip, but basically it's like the third eye and it stretches out. But we see how, despite the fact that Suleiman was really powerful, even with Ugo's theories, they still had their limits because I think it was one of the elders from the Orthodox magicians that stated, you guys may be strong, but you cannot do this forever because though that third eye of yours is losing its power. And basically, we find out that apparently Solomon is actually the son of the leader of the Orthodox magicians, the leader of the cult itself, and his name is David. uh, I forgot the full name. David Jehoshaphat Abraham. So Solomon's real name is Solomon Jehoshaphat Abram. Yeah, something like that. So I find that to be pretty cool. Deeper into Solomon's character. Now, when it comes to the whole thing with Sinbad and Aladdin, I'm gonna spend a whole lot of time on this because this is some deep analysis. This when I say that Sinbad and Aladdin are similar to Solomon, it's in different ways. Obviously, we have one side of Solomon where we see it's like Sinbad. How Sinbad he wants to destroy all these abnormalities of the world. He wants to become the true king of this world. He wants to unite all the people under him, and it's showing that he's not a bad guy. But at the same time, when it comes to Sinbad, it's different because Sinbad's doing all this shady shit on the side. And I remember when Koguku was possessed by Sinbad, and I got a chill. I was like, oh shit. So I don't think Solomon's like that. I just think that he's like Sinbad in the fact that he's willing to do whatever it takes in order for the world to be in true peace. So when it comes to that, I thought that was pretty damn cool. Now, when it comes to him being like Aladdin, when I say like he's like Aladdin, Aladdin actually finds ways to find peace without using violence. But it's not just like it's not like talk no jutsu like you would think. But in a sense, it's basically appealing to the other person's better nature, because Agares, I think that's one of it. I think it's either Agares or some other manticore. He mentions how I'm worried about this Alma Torran because I don't think it's possible because humans aren't like us manticores. So what do you think? So and then what Solomon's explanation makes a lot of sense because despite the fact that manticores have claws, humans don't have claws. Manticores have fur, humans don't have fur. Hermits are hermits. Gorillas are. I mean, there aren't any gorillas, but I mean, gorillas are gorillas. Stuff like that. One thing in common that they have is love. Now, when it comes to Naruto in that aspect, Naruto and his talk no jutsu, it makes sense, but it's really annoying because it's like he uses it all the time. Aladdin uses it all the time, but it digs deeper than even talk no jutsu. So in that aspect, Suleiman is a lot like Aladdin, and you can tell kind of that Aladdin looks like Suleiman back when Suleiman was younger, and that he actually looks like Suleiman looks like Sinbad. Now that Sinbad is like a king. Like if Suleiman was like if Sinbad was younger, he looked a lot like Suleiman too. So I see these two kind of aspects, but at the same time, you can tell that both aspects have like two different personalities and two different ideals. One ideal, the Sinbad ideal, is that all humans should be under one ruler, and that they should all do that in order for there to be peace. That's what Sinbad thinks. But Aladdin, he wants to be fair, he wants to be just. He knows that having one ruler isn't necessarily the best thing, the best idea. So I find it interesting how Suleiman and Aladdin basically have like Sinbad and Aladdin, both of their personalities are kind of mixed in together to act kind of like Suleiman's. But you see those two personalities clash, but it's not like a clash in the sense that he's confused. It's clash in a good way, meaning that it's a mixture and that it just makes a lot of sense. So with that with Suleiman, I think that's pretty cool. And when it comes to Suleiman's abilities, damn. I mean, it's like, damn. I mean, he was badass as fuck. And this dude wasn't even 17 yet. I mean, it says at the end of the chapter, we're gonna see Suleiman at 17 years old later, later in the chapter. Then, not this chapter. We didn't see him at 17 years old, and he was that badass. It's like, dude, it's like insane. I think he has gravity magic. I'm not too sure. It's like we saw him like manipulate stuff, like manipulate a force field type of sense. I'm not too sure. I might have to reread the chapter because I was mainly focused on just what was going on, like what the story was about and stuff, not necessarily the magic that they were doing. But a couple more things, and I'm probably going to end off the review, and I'm going to get into the basics. When it comes to Suleiman's character, I like how, despite the fact that he's not even 17 years old yet, he has gathered all these people, gathered this much amount of power within a short amount of time. And that also links him a lot towards Sinbad. In the case for Sinbad, he is the owner of 7 jinns, he has 7 metal vessels on his person. And so it's like, dude, that's pretty damn powerful. So, and of course, he's only like what, like under 17. They don't mention how old he is in this chapter, but we know for a fact that he's under 17 years old because it says there's gonna be a little bit of a time skip after what happens with the whole, Alma Torran speech. And when it comes to that overall, I just find that really interesting. So let's get through the basics, and then I'm gonna call it a review. Pacing, obviously, pacing was pretty good. We're now heading. I think we're heading into the climax. Maybe I think yeah, because well no, because back in the flashbacks, Suleiman looked a lot um older, but maybe within that chapter, there's gonna be like a even bigger time skip. I don't know for sure, but it looks like we're heading straight. Like it's only been 20 chapters, and it's already been pretty damn good. So, well, 20 chapters since 200. So, um, yeah, it's pretty much it. Pacing good. Art was good as usual. And when it came to the story progression, we're now heading into a time skip where Suleiman is now older. So yeah, so that's very much the chapters. That's pretty much our review. So yeah, like the video if you like it. Dislike it if you don't. Rate, comment, and subscribe. I'm OG Senpai, and I'm out. Peace, guys.